What's up, YouTube? Welcome to BCR Studios. Today we are doing P.B.R texture setups, where you get to set up the whole thing from start to finish. So the first thing I'm gonna do is you come right here, just put your cursor there, and then you pull that up. Then we're gonna make our little shader editor workspace here. As you can see, you already have your default textures, the principled BSDF and the material output. If for some reason they're not there, you can just hit Shift A and search for principled BSDF or material output, and you should be able to get them. There it is for the material. There it is. And then first thing you want to do is I'm gonna throw in my image texture. Just come in here, throw in image texture, just type that in, then you select it, and then it sticks to the mouse until you click. It's gonna drop it wherever you clicked. But for this purpose, I'm just gonna go to my actual P.B.R texture. As you can see, we're gonna set up the color, the displacement, the normal, the metallic, and the roughness. So I'm gonna take in color. As this is color, this is like albedo, so this will be color and this will be like black and white. So I'm gonna throw in my color, and then already it has put it in for me. And then you select this with Control T to put up your texture coordinates. And then I'm gonna come back to my 3D viewport and switch it to material view. You hit set, and then this menu comes up. You can use hotkeys Z6, Z9, Z8, but now we need Z2 for material preview. And then you do this after you do your UV maps. You can check out our YouTube videos on UV mapping, as you have to UV map your objects before you can texture paint. So this is already UV mapped, and by default, of course, this is a Blender default cube. And then I'm just gonna plug that in. I should be able to see my image texture. So we are using gold P.B.R. I think everybody knows what gold looks like. So there it is. And if you want, you can play around with the texture coordinates. If you make it like how you want it, I'm just gonna leave it like that. And then the second thing, first I'm gonna just tidy up my space here. You like drag select. I'm gonna move those away. I'm actually gonna move them a bit down because I'm gonna use them for other things. Just gonna pull this up, get it out of the way. So the second value is the metallic value, because gold has color, has metallic properties, it has a roughness, and gold has normal and displacement. So the second thing we're gonna do is our metallic. Now if you want, you can just use this default one. See, if I pull it all the way, it makes it metallic, and you can control how metallic you want it from dragging it all the way up. But I'm not gonna use this. We're gonna use the color data. And then gold is metallic, so we are going to turn off our specular. I think you can see that it's kind of Yeah, so you can't use both of them. If something is specular, then it's not metallic. If it's metallic, then it's not specular. So our second one is gonna zoom in, and our second value is gonna be the metallic, of course. And then you just look for metallic. Here's metallic. Just drag it in there. That's the quickest way to do it. You bring that there just to tidy up the space. Then you connect this one here. And remember, you only use the sRGB for the color properties. Everything else uses non-color data. And then we're gonna plug that into our metallic properties, and it will use the metallic data from the P.B.R texture, so you don't have to tweak everything, but it's quite fun to do it yourself too. So I suggest you try it. And the third one will be our roughness. Now I don't like how this thing works, so I'm just gonna try something. I'm gonna pull up my color invert to see how it goes. Place that in there, because sometimes it gets the color messed up. Yes, I think I like that. Then the third one will be the roughness, of course, which will be the shininess. You can use this one, make it non-shiny and super shiny. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna throw in my roughness map. Here it is. Put that in there. And for the roughness, of course, you have to use the color invert. It's compulsory for this one. Just gonna delete it and plug it in. You don't have to do it with this node. I just did it because, you know, art is mostly experimental. I think I'll leave it like that for the purpose of the tutorial, of course. But you know, you are allowed to experiment with stuff. But here with the roughness, it's mandatory that you use the color invert. It's compulsory with other things, but here and the normal, it's mandatory. So I'm just gonna drag that in. Oh, that's the wrong one. That's the wrong one. I'll just wait for it to finish and then I can pull it out and plug it into the roughness. And then I want to make my gold shiny. So I'm gonna pull that back, and then it's gonna give us that shininess. Of course, it's not gonna shine like silver metal. It's gold. It's kind of coarse. And then the third one will be our normal and displacement. So you want to hit Shift A, search for a normal map, put it here, and I'm already gonna throw in my displacement and put it there. And then I'm gonna pull down my material output, as this one will be connected to the displacement. So I'm just gonna get it closer. I'm gonna shift select this. I'm gonna track select. I'm gonna pull this down so that they are more accessible. Now I need my normal map. Just gonna look for normal here. Any one of these. I'll drag it in. Pull it up. Always remember to switch them to non-color. So you just change that and make it non-color. And then you connect it to your texture coordinates. And finally, you connect it to your normal map. Image texture to normal map. And then you can connect it to the normal. Now the normal is like a bump map. It's gonna make it more scratchy, give you those scratches, makes it more realistic. As gold actually has, as you can see, it kind of looks like it has like scratches, or you can call it a bump. And then you want to turn up your strength. As you can see, the more I turn up the strength, the more the scratches appear. You see now the scratches are all smoothed out. But when I turn up the strength, it gets a little scratchy, and you can see that it's not a smooth surface. There's like holes and deep cuts. And I think it's another cool property. And then to make those scratches look even better, you are gonna throw in your displacement. Just gonna drag select these boys and get them out of the way. That'll do it. Then you're gonna go back to your P.B.R. and look for the displacement. Sometimes it's called the height. I'm gonna throw it in there, but mostly you will get displacement. It's really often where it says height. And then the first thing, you always want to change this to non-color. Pull that in. And this one will be connected to our displacement map on the height. And then you're gonna go to your material output. Get it closer. And then we plug in the displacement. It adds like, I think it adds on to the normal. It's like a pump map, as the things already have like, and then there you are. You see with the displacement, the normal values get more intense. So you might want to come back to the strength of your normal and make it so it's kind of the way you like it. I think this works. I think this works. Might want to turn it more down. Yeah. This is actually up to your preferences. But I think natural gold has a few scratches on it. So I think I like this. It's perfect. Like to zoom in. And for better quality, you might want to come here into your render properties and change this to cycles. Cycles uses more CPU, and it kind of takes longer to load, but it shows you more quality than Eevee. Eevee is also cool, especially in Blender. I think Blender 4.1, yeah, Eevee is super amazing. You wouldn't even notice you're not in cycles. but for the lower versions you might wanna switch it to cycles to get like a really cool view, especially with displacement and normal. And I think this is it. This is our complete P.B.R texture setup, where you set up everything yourself. And then the shortcut for this is Control-Shift-T. You hit Control-Shift-T on your shader space. It will bring this up, and then you just go into where you saved your P.B.R textures. Oh, where is it? Then you just come in there and you just take one and you just select it. Say maybe this one. And you just click and you select everything in there. And then you say principal texture setup, and it will automatically set it up for you. Like set this whole thing up and just, and then it gets in there. But I think the best way to learn is to do it first manually, because sometimes it doesn't work with some P.B.R textures. They don't load when you click. Sometimes you want to tweak stuff, and I think the cool way is to learn how to do it manually. So when you're in your hurry, you can just hit Control-Shift-T, put it up there. Let's see if I can just gonna make a new session, and I'm gonna pull up put my pretty face on the side. Then I'm gonna pull up my shader, and then I'm gonna try to use the Control-Shift-T method. I'm going to first hit Z, material view, Control-Shift-T, and find, because sometimes not all P.B.Rs work with this shortcut. I think that's something you should be aware. I thought like, what, that is something wrong. But then sometimes it doesn't load. I think it's because of the format of the P.B.R. So we're just gonna hit these and see which one works. Just be aware that with the shortcut, not all of them work. Some of them for some reason won't. But let's see if this one, I think this one worked. And this is how I'm just gonna wait for it to compile all the shaders, so that we'll see. Yes, I think that's done. As you can see, the shortcut worked, but I think it worked because it was a rusted metal or whatever. And then you can just come in here and tweak your stuff. Like you see here, it didn't change it to look at what it did, like this. So let's just try and make it better. Change this to non-color. Change all of them to non-color and see how the normal thing, it makes some things. It's not like when you do it. Change this also to non-color, and you see it has no displacement properties. So you can just, if you know how to manually set it up, you can fix stuff like this until you get the result that you want. So I think this is cool, but you can see with the roughness also. So I'm just gonna hit Shift A, put in our invert color in there for the roughness, and yep, that should do it. Let's wait for it to finish compiling shaders. So you see with the shortcut, sometimes it just not, like, you might want to tweak some stuff. Also, and let's see how the displacement is fine, the normal is fine. Ooh, but this is just ooh. But yeah, I think we made it better. But another thing I also want to do is manipulate my texture coordinates. Make it a little more, yeah, I think that's better. Yep, I think that's better. So if you know how to set it up manually, yeah, I think you can work faster with the shortcuts. Just have the shortcuts do some stuff for you, and you just come back. And I'm just gonna pull this up. I actually like to put it all the way up because I need to see everything in here. And so I wanna, so this is like the Blender's shortcut. I think it's good to save time. Just hit Ctrl+Shift+T and throw in the texture and then just go in and tweak it manually. But it's best if you like know how to do it so you can fix things like this. I think it also works cool for the learning process. So yeah, I think this is it. This is everything you need to know about P.B.R textures. And then the next videos we will be using clouds, like setting up a P.B.R texture with no external downloads, like external data, like stuff like this. We can just make our texture manually straight from Blender without importing anything, image texture or normal maps, which is really not a beginner's video, as it's super hard. But for now, I think this will do it. So keep blending, boys. Till next time, stay painting.